I've got to manage myself, I've got to manage my mind. The task is not easy, but to high heights I climb.
I'm determined to succeed, so no excuses, please. If you don't want success in life, then don't hinder me. Yes, let the whole world know you are a CEO. You are a CEO. I'm a CEO. You are a CEO. I'm a CEO. The time is here to celebrate. You are a CEO. You are a CEO. You are a CEO. You are a CEO. Yes, let the whole world know. The time is here to celebrate. Success is calling, so don't be late. You are a CEO.
Hello, Run. I'm Michael E. Parker, and this is the part 2 show that we promised you last week. It is September 30th, and I have in studio with me Mr. Joseph Barghouthi. Once again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
Well, you're with me now at the beginning of the show, and so I got to tell the people just a few things. I want you to remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join our Facebook group. But again, if you are here tonight, you are going to hear more of the truth about solar. And before we even kick into this show, I asked you to come into this first segment because there was so much, questions and excitement about our first show. People had some questions about some of the benefits that I know you can answer. So why don't you just kind of take over the show for a minute, talk to the camera, tell them about some of those additional benefits that people might need to know.
Absolutely. We referenced in the first show that you receive a tax credit. And I want to elaborate a little bit more on what a tax credit really is. If you're self-employed, for example, and you see yourself owing the IRS money at the end of the year when you file your taxes, the tax credit is a deduction off of that amount that you owe. So if you owe $10,000 and you get a tax credit of $6,000 or 30% of whatever the value of the system is, you get to apply that directly to that amount that you owe. That's a big deal. If you're employed and you have taxes withheld from you, and you usually receive some sort of credit from the IRS, this $6,000 or whatever 30% value of the system is credited back to you. You actually receive a check back from the IRS.
Wow.
So this is real dollars that you get back. This is
Wow.
not some sort of write-off. This is a dollar-for-dollar credit.
Now, you still get write-off benefits too, is that correct?
That's right. In the essence, when you're if you're self-employed or if you own your own business and you're buying this as an asset, there are ways to depreciate the system over 5 years.
Right.
And so you definitely want to take advantage of that as well.
Right, but that credit is dollar for dollar, straightforward. People need to really get that. And then there was more that you talked about in terms of the stability of solar versus the increases in the utilities. And just say a little bit about that.
So as we discussed the first time, the utility rates increase over time. And this is historic. I mean, you can just look it up for your utility, and you'll see that typical inflation rates 2, 6, 10, 12% each year. And you'll see this in your bill. If you just look at your bill from 10 years ago, wherever you were to where you are now, you'll see that there's been an increase in your bill. It might be hard to understand looking at the statements, but it's been happening. What's nice about solar is you're locking in what you're paying, right? Whether you're actually paying the system off, right, and having no bill at all, so you're constantly saving each year, or getting a monthly payment of some type, a low monthly payment. That payment's going to stay the same while the utility rate keeps increasing over time. And so as you can see, that gap keeps increasing. That's you being energy independent.
Right, and some of those increases are just standard increases that they do as a business, and then some of them is like we talked about, the fires and lawsuits and things that can happen.
That's right.
All of that can contribute to it as well.
They're a business.
Absolutely, they're a business. So I want to thank you for coming in and kind of set the tone, kind of building a bridge from part 1 to part 2 here tonight.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to hear about some specific details, because tonight I want you to know everything you need to know to move forward in this energy CEO movement, being the CEO of your energy. And we're going to explain what it's like working with us and how how we want to really serve you to help you take that next step. So after this short break, we're going to come back to a wonderful presentation you don't want to miss. So we'll see you in just a few seconds.
For more information, please visit yourceo.com/EnergyCEO.
We are starting a movement called You Are a CEO. You are a CEO. You run the business of you, and you can go as far as you want to go. Be the CEO of your future. Be the CEO of your destiny. Be the CEO of your career. Be the CEO of being an entrepreneur. As of today, my past does not matter. I am officially stepping into my new position. I am powerful. I know what I have to do. I am smart. I am able. I refuse to look back. Anything that ever hurt me has now become my fuel. I will make no excuses. I am now a high achiever. I am now an executive. I am the CEO of me. Hello everyone, we are back in studio as promised, and I have given my trusty clicker to Joseph, and we're going to walk through an important presentation. We want to talk about what excellence looks like in solar. There's a lot of people trying to talk to people about solar, but we want you to know when you work with Energy CEO, we're going to make sure you get the best of the best. We believe in excellence. It's even one of the things we focus on, as you know, and you are a CEO. So Joseph, let's go over to the screen here. And I want you to walk us through what are some of the main attributes of excellence as it relates to solar installation. We're making sure, because we don't know, so help us to know, give us an eye of excellence in solar.
Absolutely, I'd be more than happy to. Aesthetics plays a really important part on a solar installation. Of course, there's the engineering, making sure that your house doesn't catch on fire due to doing something improper. Right. And those are always important. We'll get to those points. But first I want to address something that's purely based on aesthetics. And that's going to be the rails. And people don't know what rails are, so we're going to go into the aspect of rails right now. You'll see that this is pretty much towards the end of a solar installation. You'll see that we've got rails here. A lot of people think the panels sit on the roof. They actually sit on these metal rails. What's important about these rails is that they're cut appropriately. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to jump to the next slide here. You can see if they're cut appropriately, they're sort of flush against the edge of the solar system. This gives it a nice look. Right. You don't want metal rails hanging out on the edge. Right. But you need a team that's focused on excellence, that's going to make sure that they cut these rails exactly at the right measurements, and they're going to leave any loose ends hanging. So this is really down to details here when you're looking at the actual cut of the rails that hold the panels. And so I want to make sure as you're going in and out that you also show them some close-ups of this. I want y'all to really see this really good. So we'll go in and out of the close-ups, but you're really saying some solar companies or some solar installations are not considering this level of detail. Yeah, it takes a lot more time to have that sort of precision. And if you're working with a company, for example, that is trying to do 2 installations in a day to maximize their profits, this kind of detail is sometimes missed. I got you. Okay, yeah. This is great. Absolutely. Let's go to the next aspect. This is really important. You can see the size and scope of this system. Look how perfectly lined up it is against this, this edge. That measurement right there, that's to the T. You'd have to line up, and before this system's installed, you're doing accurate measurements to make sure that when you take a step back and look at it, it's not crooked. Right. Right? I mean, crookedness is a signal of lack of perfection. Right. And you want your house to look perfect. Absolutely. So this level of detail is important when you're looking into a company that's going to do this type of installation. Nice, nice. Now, on your roof, you're going to see that we have to transfer those wires that has the DC energy all the way down to the side of your house where the panel is. So this is what you talked about in the last show, and you kind of broke this down. The DC energy from the panel turned into AC. Which is what we use in the homes. So this is the conduit that sends it down to the AC? Is that That's right. Okay, there's wires inside this conduit, right? It's really important that it not only are the wires protected, but we have to route this in a smart way so it doesn't aesthetically look displeasing, right? So you'll see here that we've gone straight through any of the obstructions. As a matter of fact, if we were to have paint to match the color of the house, this could be painted and you wouldn't even see it anymore. Nice. Right? It would blend in nicely. Nice. Again, this level of work, sometimes if you're looking at houses around your neighborhood that have gotten solar, you might even see that this conduit is coming over the gutter. Really not a good look. not really good for the house, but it's cheaper and easier to do it that way.
Right, gotcha.
So this level of detail is important.
Nice.
Okay. Flashing. So what's a big question that we get on solar installations? How about all the holes you're putting in my roof, right? How do you prevent those leaks? If you're dealing with a quality installation, quality team, they're going to use quality products. This is a sample product if you have what's called a composition roof. This is the shingles on a composition roof, which many folks have. This type of flashing, which is a way to prevent water from entering this penetration. And this is mounted to the rafters in your roof. So if I were to peel this roof away, you would see rafters that you're drilling holes into to secure the rails onto the roof. So this metal flashing prevents water from entering. This is actually a better product than the roof shingle itself. It's metal, right? So this is going to last for a very long time, far more than 25 years. And this is the kind of product that a good company that's looking at quality is going to implement in your solution. Right? Now, what if you have a tile roof? People say, I don't have comp shingle, I have a beautiful tile roof. We have solutions for that as well. Whether it's a flat tile type of roof, whether it's a S tile, and you can see there's two different types here, we actually replace the concrete tile with metal. Again, to prevent the leaks, and you'll actually have excess pieces of tile that we'll give to the homeowner in case there are issues on other parts of the roof and they want to replace those tiles. They'll have extras to do that.
So this is really getting into the type of material that you're using. So excellence in terms of even the material you're using, because you're being conscious of the long-term effect and actually implementing a sustainable system for that home.
That's right. Systems have 25-year warranties. The workmanship is 10 years or beyond. You need to use the right products to support those warranty claims. Right? People can say we warranty things, but you have to actually have the products to do those things. Some of these products also take quite a while to install, but a good quality company is going to put that type of time and effort in.
Nice, all right.
Okay, so quality control. What's important for managing a project? Not just the installation, but things happen on a project, right? So how do you ensure that the project's done correctly? When you have an organization that's keeping track of every aspect of the installation and demanding that photographs are taken throughout the installation cycle, this is how you can assure both the homeowner, the utility that's interconnecting, as well as the permit office that the job was done correctly.
So these are all checklists that our teams use to make sure that everything is done properly, and there's a record that it was done properly.
That's exactly right.
Nice.
That's exactly right. And this is not done by a lot of companies. The reason why you want to focus on something like this is you want to have that permanent record that the job was done right the first time. Perhaps you want to sell your home and you want records of everything that was done.
Nice.
Right?
Very good.
Now, another aspect of solar is there's a lot of wires. Right? You have to combine all the panels together. You don't want those wires to be loose and hanging underneath the panel. You don't want, that's a potential for fire hazards. So you want something clean, just like this. Look at this. This is a nice large solar system. You can see the flashings I described here and the long rails. Not a single wire touching that roof.
So this is actually looking at the roof and the panel that is above it, and just the clean kind of gap between those two
That's
things.
right.
Nice.
That's right. Now, a lot of people, again, think that the panels are sitting flush on the roof. That's actually not a good installation because you want airflow.
I see.
Panels can't get too hot. The hotter the panel gets, the less efficient they become.
Nice.
So having this little gap in between the roof and the solar system creates more efficiency.
Nice.
And then you can see that the wire management is all done here along the railing. It's all tucked in and secured, so nothing loose or hanging.
Nice, very nice. Now, before you go into this, because this whole segment on Beautiful System, this is our last segment. I know we have to wrap this up. This is really good what you've been covering. Now, Joseph, a lot of people, when they think about solar, they say, wait a minute, I spent a lot of money on my house. I don't want this looking like a factory, and I'm not trying to become some, power engine in my neighborhood. I want people to look at my house and be happy and feel a home. So tell me a little bit about how you can make these systems beautiful. This is perfect. I just want to segue into that because this is an important concern people have.
Yeah, aesthetics plays a really important role, both in the resellability of your home and just your own level of comfort with what your home looks like. So part of the way that we've solved that problem is providing not only high quality panels, but good looking ones.
Nice.
Right? All black type solutions where when you're looking from afar, it blends in nicely with the roof. And I like the best way to explain that is to show a picture, right? A picture's 1,000 words.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick look. So here you go. You can see from the top down view, And this is just a fantastic design as well.
Very nice.
You can see that the lines are all cut. You don't see the edges. You don't see those railings sticking out from the ends. And it's important to note that anytime we're designing a system for a home, it's custom. There is no standard design. It's whatever we think is going to fit best and meets the homeowner's aesthetic look design.
Right.
So in this case, the homeowner looked at this and said, this is a beautiful design for the number of panels that they have. Another look, take a look at this. It's like a badge of honor on this house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful, it's symmetrical. You can see that it flows well with the color of the roof.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more common to see these type of installations. So this is not something abnormal in a neighborhood. You kind of look at that and you're like, those are the smart people in this neighborhood, right? They're choosing to take control of their power.
Very nice.
Last photo here, again, an all black panel system. I mean, it just looks good. I don't know, what do you think, Mr. Parker?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm in the process of getting solar at home, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm jumping in myself, and so again, I'm very concerned about this too. And this is the type of look that I would think everyone would want, something that's crisp and clean.
That's right. Also to keep in mind, not only is it aesthetically pleasing, it also increases the value of the house. When it comes time to an appraisal, an appraiser's going to take a look, make sure that you have this system on your roof and that it's functioning well, then you get a credit on the value of your home.
Perfect. Well, this has been a great overview, and so I want to stop here because we're going to go to a really short clip, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with another person on this team, one of our executives here at URCO that is doing a lot to lead the Energy CEO effort. And so make sure you don't miss that. And then after that, we're going to come back for a final segment. We're going to have you come back one more time. We're getting everything out of you being here at the office. And so we'll be right back in just one moment. Stay tuned. Just more and more to say about Energy CEO. We'll be right back.
For more information, please visit urceo.com/Energy CEO.
Well, we are back here in the studio, and I have with me Bar Ben Shoshin. And Bar is now in a specific role as a managing director, Energy CEO, and I'm so glad. I mean, I had to rush you in here. You come right here live because I've had such a great conversation with Joseph, and I know you and Joseph have been working together to really make sure this new program we put together is successful. But how excited are you? Because I know your background in solar before you even joined our team, and to see now we're able to merge the self-leadership movement with helping people have freedom in solar and energy. How excited are you about that?
I'm extremely excited. The reason is, as you said, I own the solar company. So whatever Joseph is talking about and the excellence in solar, I personally made sure that I meet those expectations. And now I'm on the other side. I'm on the side who wants to help people take charge and on their energy, right? And do the right thing. So I'm not a salesperson. I just care about the movement of your CEO, and I care about making sure that they get good service, that their system is being designed well, that their usage is being analyzed well, and later on, the installation and the whole progress, we want to make sure that they're well taken care of.
Very well said, very well said. And that makes me want to just swing over to our logo for a minute, because let's pull that up, because that energy that you just heard Bar talking about is represented in that brand, Energy CEO. We want to see people get what they deserve with regard to energy. And I think one of the things that I would say, Bar, is that you're someone that's going to be overseeing, making sure that this operation is going smoothly for all of our customers out there at URCO. And it's very clear that you have the passion. Again, it's not a sale, but really trying to give freedom to people and expose them to an opportunity that they should really use to be the executive of their own home. So when you think about that, how important is it to you that people understand that they're going to be treated with the utmost service, care, and respect when they work with us?
It's very important. You know, one of the reasons that California is one of the sunniest states in the USA, but not everyone has solar, is because people got hurt from the solar industry. They're so confused. They don't know what to believe to anymore. So it's important that they will feel safe. It's important that they'll know exactly what to do, and that the whole process will be just easy and not forced.
Right, right. And I know that we've got some wonderful technology. You know, when I think about you, I think about Joseph, the systems that we're using to really make sure that that process is seamless from the day that they meet us to the day that they look up at those great panels that Joseph was going over earlier. I think, you know, the way that our system is put together, how much do you think that can contribute to the experience that we can give people?
Extremely. Most of the time when it comes to home improvement or to solar, it's a little difficult process. You need to call a company, then you need to schedule an appointment, you need to wait for a salesperson to come, miss work. We created such a smooth process. Joseph and I are working together very closely to where all you need to do is just send us an email letting us know that you're interested. We shoot you an email back with 4 things that we need from you, which is your name, address, phone number, and your utility account number. And only with that information, we can provide you a full proposal that includes an analysis of your usage, a full design of your solar system on your roof, and the best options, finance options for your needs, and it's all customized.
Now, again, what's so exciting to me, because I've done some work with you in the past when you had your solar company, and I know when you think about, one of the things is just not having to disrupt your life, you know, and take off days at work and try to meet people for all kinds of different things. I think it's so exciting that technology has caught up with this industry, and now we can simplify things for that end user. And so you have nothing to lose to at least find out what the benefit might be, wouldn't you say?
Yes, and many people will be surprised if you listen to last week's show, and if you listen to today's segment, you got nothing to lose. If solar is not for you, by the way, and some people don't pay enough on electricity to where solar is not making sense financially, and at the end of the day, solar is meant to save you money. If we run your numbers and we see that you're not going to save money, we're going to tell you solar is not for you. And it happened before. I'm not just saying.
Right.
But most of the time, because the electricity rates are so high, you will be saving solar. You'll end up locking your rates, pay less every month, and get your tax credit. So it's a no-brainer.
Wow, that I like, you know, I'm even going fully into this now with my own solar, making sure that I get solar, as you know, because I think everybody needs to understand that even I had to wake up, you know, because I realized that solar is something that can really give me some freedom in my own personal position. Now, you mentioned 4 things, and I want to put that on the screen real quick, that we can really make sure we have these 4 things. And you're saying essentially if we have these 4 things, we would have everything we need to let you know what to do next.
Everything.
And we can tell you if it's a benefit to you or not.
Yes, without even picking up your phone, you can get a full, complete solar analysis and proposal.
All right, well, this is the critical information then, Bar, is the email address. So when someone is watching this and says, I'm gonna send some information to solar@urco.com, what will happen next?
You send an email to solar@yourceo.com saying, hi, I'm interested in solar.
They have to say hi to?
Yes. We're gonna send an email that says hi back.
Right, exactly.
And we're gonna ask you to send your name, your address, your phone number, and your utility account number. That's all you need to do. We might wanna get to know you a little better. Later on, it can be via phone, it can be via email, to find out how would you like to finance your solar system or what are the best options for you. But that's all you need to do. Just say hi and send the email.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. We are all prepared, and we want you to know Energy CEO is something that is a true benefit to all of you out there that are ready to take that next step. We owe it to ourselves, and we, again, also can, contribute to the environment as well along the way while actually helping ourselves, truly helping our own households. And so if you have heard something tonight that interests you, make sure you reach out at solar@urco.com. We're going to take one more break, and when we get back, you're going to see all three of us, me, Bar, and Joseph, and we're going to talk about why it's so important to take action now. There's a lot going on that you need to know, and you want to get all the benefits that you can. So after a short break, we'll be right back. We'll see you soon.
For more information, please visit urceo.com/energyceo.
We are starting a movement called You Are a CEO. You are a CEO. You run the business of you, and you can go as far as you want to go. Be the CEO of your future. Be the CEO of your destiny. Be the CEO of your career. Be the CEO of being an entrepreneur. As of today, my past does not matter. I am officially stepping into my new position. I am powerful. I know what I have to do. I am smart. I am able. I refuse to look back. Anything that ever hurt me has now become my fuel. I will make no excuses. I am now a high achiever. I am now an executive. I am the CEO of me. Hello, everyone. As promised, we are back here in studio, and I have all three of us here together. And this has been a great series. And Joseph, I appreciate you from the first series till now. And then, of course, having Bar here, this is just exciting. And I want to just, close out this series with a clear discussion on why it is so important to act now with regard to solar. If it's something you really want to do and you really want to start getting involved, I know there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of politics going on. There's a lot of changes happening. Mm-hmm. So from each of you, why do you think it's so important to take action now? We'll start with you.
Yeah, well, the tax credit that we keep referring to that's a huge benefit to homeowners is being reduced at the end of the year. This reduction is going to affect how much you receive. So in order to qualify for the full tax credit, you have to have the system installed and turned on before the end of the year.
Wow.
So that's the importance of acting now. And you can imagine how many people are going to be interested. You want to get started as soon as possible so that if there's any backlog of installations, we can get through and get to you before the end of the year.
Wow, wow. Now, I know that, Bar, when we think about the importance of acting now, there's nothing more plain than what Joseph just went over. But I know there's some people that are listening that might be even younger, and they're preparing to get their first home. And they're saying, well, it's all lost for me. Well, I also know that, even though it's being reduced, there still will be some benefits continuing after. Why don't you say a little bit about that?
There will be. We're looking for the next 3 years to be very strong years with solar, as long as the tax credit is available there. But I would say act now because you got nothing to lose, and because as time goes by, you're losing the credits and the benefits. There used to be rebates a few years ago. So a few years ago was a better time than now to go solar. But now with the 30%, I completely agree with Joseph. Just send your information and see how it will help you.
Right. Now, that is a very well said, and I think when you just think about things that are benefits to people, it's interesting how over time that little by little stuff starts to be taken away from it.
Right.
Like you mentioned about the rebates. And so how, it almost seems like that we don't know what might happen in the foreseeable future. So it truly is a now type of thinking that we need to get, because we don't know what's happening in other rooms and other policies and with utility companies and all of that. But right now there are laws in place to protect this move that we are making. And so do you think it's really important to be aware of the unknown?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you a perfect example of what you just said. It was only a matter of 3-4 years ago, the utility actually had an amazing rate structure that helped people save far more than they're saving today. That was capped. And anybody that had signed on and installed their system prior to that date was grandfathered in.
Wow.
So there's quite a few people that are out there that are benefiting from this particular rate structure. You want to take advantage of the structure today before it can change in a meeting somewhere in a building at your utility,
Right.
Or at the governor's office, or even at the federal level with the tax credit.
Right, absolutely. Now let me ask this, because when we talk about you, our CEO, and I know that we talk about all these ingredients of being the CEO of our life, and Bar, when I think about you and just knowing your story, even before you were at URCO and some of the things you came through from Israel to here, how important do you think it is for people to be able to have the courage to take a step in anything? People tell us all the time about things that can benefit us, but it's just something different about those who take action on what they hear, and those that just always think that it won't work, or they don't take a step, they don't do anything. What do you say to the people out there that sometimes need that boost to get the most out of themselves?
Everyone hates to be told, "I told you so."
Right, yeah, that's true.
And like Joseph mentioned before, you always, at least one person who installed solar before. Now you know us. We're on your side. Use us for your own good.
Right, that's good.
All we care is about providing you the right information with no sales pitch behind it, with no motives behind it. You have a friend in the solar business.
Yeah.
So use us, act now. Don't be afraid. You got nothing to lose. You can either stay where you at or save money, and we all need to save money.
Now let me say, how do you all feel when that person sees their bill go from $200, $300 to $2, $1, $5? I mean, what are some experiences you all have seen? I mean, that's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah, we talk in this industry about the hug factor. This is one of those products where you do a good job, quality installation, they get that first, bill where they're seeing nothing compared to what they used to have, and they want to reach out and tell people. They have joy, and they express that joy to everyone around them. And so part of the love in this industry is sharing that goodwill with others. And I've experienced that for 10 years. I love that factor. It's why I'm in it today, and through all the struggles with all the changes with the utility and every tactic that's being used to try and make this all go away.
Right.
We struggle, we get through it because
Right.
of that hug factor.
I like that, the hug factor. Well, don't you talk about the hug factor a little bit?
I love
Yeah.
the hug factor because solar works. It's not a made-up story. It works. And till this day, I get text messages, I get pictures from customers that their bill used to be $250 and now it's $5 or $10.
Wow.
We have a team member here, Megan Tomasello. She just showed me her PG&E bill yesterday from $176 to $10, and those $10 are set delivery fee from the utility company. So she pretty much paid zero.
Right.
So solar works, solar saves money, and we have so many proofs. We're going to show those proofs to you. We're working on some before and after bills to show you how it would look like, and that can be you.
Very well said. I just want to thank both of you for all that you've contributed to this series. And Joseph, thank you for spending so much time. I know we're all one team. This is all one integrated family now, and we're all on the same page with Energy CEO. But I know you're always out and about making sure that installations are going well, and I want everyone out there to know that we've come together and put something serious together here that will really make sure not only do we look out for you, but we make sure you're getting the best possible service. And if anything is wrong, we're all committed up here to make sure it gets made right. And that's what we're trying to do through Energy CEO. And so I want to know, before we close out the show, is there any closing remarks any of you want to say? You want to say anything to the people?
Very excited about this opportunity. I think the awareness alone and letting everyone know that there's a solution, like you said, doesn't hurt to see what's out there, see what solutions we have for you. And this is a great team. Very fortunate to be a part of it, and thank you guys both.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Bar, you want to say anything?
Just your CEO is a movement of self-leaders. And self-leadership comes into our life in so many ways, in our relationships, in our work. And it also comes down to how we manage our life at home. Paying our bills is one of those things.
Yes.
So take charge on that. We're here for you. Just use us and let the whole world know.
That's it, that you are a CEO. Nice. So that's perfect timing because we're going to close out this show and they're going to stay right here with me. And so right here on the screen, I want to remind you, that if you're not a part of the movement, go to urco.com and make sure and join this self-leadership movement. And remember, we believe in live, learn, earn. We live the life every day and we always keep learning so we can keep growing. And through our affiliate program, we can even earn some income as we help change lives. And then I want to tell you about our next show on October 7th. This is going to be a special show, Real Estate, the Center of Wealth. And there's a reason that the laws are the way they are. There's a reason the tax codes are the way they are. And there's a lot of things surrounding real estate that we need to know if we want to be the CEOs of our wealth creation. And we're going to talk about some really wonderful things. So don't miss that show. But between now and then, make sure you get out there. And as Bar said, let the whole world know that you are a CEO. Until next week, we'll see you soon.
Yes, let the whole world know. A CEO.